Wouldn't it be great if when you bought a new house, you didn't have to pay your electric bill for 2 years? Well, I happen to know how you can make that happen. You know, when you buy a house, you're gonna spend a good amount of money. No matter what type of loan you use, no matter what your down payment is, there are some big expenses attached with moving. And it would be really nice if you didn't have to pay at least some of your bills. And I found a great way for you to do that. If you want to buy a new construction home, Jagoe Homes can help you with exactly that. And that's not even the best part. The best part is that they are going to offer you a 4.99 interest rate if you use their preferred lender. And in this market, that is a great interest rate because right now, the interest rate today, November 9th, is 7.84. They are cutting that interest rate almost in half. So one of my favorite things about Jagoe is the timeline. I actually think the time that they say is between 5 and 6 months, but I usually see it between 4 and 5 months. So you could be in your new home by spring next year if you choose to custom build. However, to qualify for this 4.99 and to get your electric bill paid for, you are going to have to buy what is known as a spec home, and that is a home that is already built. It was built like just as a market home, as a model home, and they might have been built anytime from last year, the last 2 years, to this year. And of course, to move that inventory, they're offering some incentives like the 4.99 interest rate and the electric bills. So in order to qualify for the 4.99 interest rate, you have to buy their spec homes, their market homes, which is a house that they build just to put on the market. The third thing that I really tend to be a fan of is the energy efficiency with Jagoe Homes. So they win awards every year about how energy efficient they are. And here you can see that they have a little chart here to show you how energy efficient they are in comparison to other homes. Now let's take a look at existing home. It could be from the 1800s, it could be from the early 2000s. They're using just an average here. It uses 130 hertz versus a new home, but not a new home from Jagoe, just a new home from another builder. It's giving it a 100 rating with the hertz. And then a brand new energy efficient or energy smart home, it's giving it a 62. I think this is a very generous average price range because I know people that spend up to 500 on their monthly bill. This is a very good price because we're talking most Jagoes on average are anywhere from 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 stories, and most of them are at least 1,500 square feet and more. We can use our house to compare. We are around the 130 to 200, and we do have some things we put in place to try to make it more energy efficient, but it is an older home. So for example, like the insulation in the walls, it is not as good of a quality or as effective as the new insulation that they're using in 2023. We put in a nest several years ago and we were watching it. So my husband, he knows a little bit about everything. He's a plumber by trade and he's actually like one of those jack of all trades. So he puts on our Nest thermostat and we were so excited for a month. We were keeping it so low. We were checking our usage on the Nest app and it was saying that we were using 11% less or 30% less, and we were bundling up and wearing more layers inside the house, just so excited to see our new bill. We just thought we were gonna pay like $5 or something. And we get our bill and it was $1,700. What happened was that my husband, as a matter of fact, did not know what he was doing. And he connected the wires incorrectly, or he set it up in some way that we were using auxiliary heat only. My understanding is that auxiliary heat is some sort of emergency fuel pump or something like that. So it cost more to run it that way. So this whole month that we thought we were saving money, we were just racking up a $2,000 utility bill. That is my Nest story. So back to these costs. So annually, with a Jagoe home, you would be saving $2,000, which is what I spent that 1 month, and then an annual savings of $1,368. Now your annual cost here when you buy a Jagoe home using those incentives would be zero, because they are going to be paying these $2,000, $2,040 for you for 2 years. So that's one of my favorite reasons to use Jagoe. Another really good one is the 210 home buyer's warranty. This is something that you don't get when you buy a used home. And it's kind of funny to think about it when you say used home, because we say a used car, but we don't usually say a used home. We say existing home. When you buy a new home, of course you can purchase an additional warranty, but there's nothing like getting the builder's warranty. And the one that Jagoe offers is it covers 10 full years of structural defect coverage for load-bearing components, anything exterior. What I see this used for often is as the topography underneath the home starts to shift and settle, and the home starts to settle, your home is going to naturally shift. That just happens. And so when that is taking place, sometimes the cabinets that are pushed up against the wall, they kind of pull away a little bit. Nothing drastic. I know you've seen it. They will come in and fix that and push it back up and then seal it again. It also covers 2 full years of system coverage against defects in wiring, piping, ductwork, electrical, plumbing, heating, cooling, ventilation, and mechanical systems. And then 1 year for defects in workmanship and materials. I had a client actually a couple weeks ago, they took advantage of these incentives and they bought a pre-existing home. Since they went pending in October, they got the 4.75 interest rate, and they got 2 years of their electric bills being reimbursed to them, and they got this warranty. But when we were walking through the house, we did notice that there were some details in the workmanship of the home, and it's natural human error. For example, we noticed one of the door handles was a little crooked. That's going to be corrected. And then we noticed one of the drawers in the kitchen was off the track, and they're just going to put that back on the track. So you get 1 full year of that, as you don't really get to know your house within the span of a few months. But after a year, you get to know your house pretty well, and you will see if there are any defects like paint chipping, things that are put in incorrectly. They will cover that. So that is a great assurance when you are buying a brand new home. And then something else that you get with these Jagoe homes that I didn't know about, I just learned 2 weeks ago when I went in with my clients that I mentioned. You get Tech Smart components, which include this Nest doorbell, the Nest thermostat that my husband put in incorrectly, this smart lock, 2 outdoor Nest cams, and this Wi-Fi garage door opener. And it also comes with 2 remote openers for your car, but you can access this from your phone. I'll be honest, I have this in my house. I lost the remotes. I just have the app on my phone. And it's nice because you can open that. Like if my son ever needs to run home, like if we're out and my son is with his grandmother and he needs to run home to grab soccer cleats or something, we'll just open the garage door from wherever we are. Of course, he has the door code to the front door, but it's nice because you don't have to keep track of a key or anything like that. And then it comes with the Nest Hub, which is like an Alexa home or one of those things, and you can keep track of your family calendar, reminders. You can take a look at your thermostat and your cameras, all that good stuff. Now let's take a look at the communities. Now I know that you can definitely take advantage of these incentives, the 4.99 interest rate on the north side in a community called McCutcheon Trace. Of course, if you want to build a home with them and you use their preferred lender, you won't get a 4.99. You will get a better interest rate, but of course it won't be that 4.99. That is for existing homes only. But if you want to build, you can build in any of these communities here. Some of them don't have any more lots available, so just let me know if you're interested in any of these communities and I will find out for you. But let's take a look here at these communities. And we have Goldfinch Cove. I haven't personally seen that, but it is one of their newest communities, and I do have a client building in there. Let's see, McCutcheon Trace, that's what I mentioned. I think there is 1 home left to take advantage of that 4.99 interest rate. And then these Turnberry, Waterside, Essex, and Cadbury, those are all in Newburgh, and I actually made a video specifically about these communities because they are built near the newest park in the city of Newburgh, which is called Freedman Park. Then Williams Landing is also in Newburgh. It's closer to the riverfront. It's more towards the east of Newburgh. It's not on the river, but it's near the river. And then there's Ironwood. Ironwood is deeper into Newburgh. It's further east. This subdivision was built either towards the end of the pandemic or immediately following the pandemic. And the reason I mention that is because I think it was explained to me that they developed this with remote workers in mind, because a lot of people were able to work remote and they wanted to go home, and so a lot of people were coming back into Evansville, or people were finding out that they could work remotely and they didn't have to pay these outrageous rent prices in states like California, Texas, New York, Florida, and they were moving to the Midwest. We had a large influx of new Midwest residents, and they needed something like, if you picture just like the professional couple, they didn't need huge homes, so they started building homes that were 2 to 3 bedrooms in this subdivision. Now, in all of their other subdivisions, you have to build at least 3 bedrooms, but in Ironwood, you can build anywhere from 2 to 3 bedrooms in that subdivision. Now, if you were to ask me my favorite Jagoe subdivision, like I said, I haven't seen Goldfinch Cove, so I can't speak to that one. It looks nice, but I really like the Freedman Park area simply because I like Freedman Park and I think it's really pretty out that way. There are, of course, no more lots that back up to Freedman Park, so you would have to, if you wanted to back the park, you would have to wait for a home to come on the market. So now I'm going to take you on a tour of the Jagoe Homes. Let's go take a look. I really love walking through these model homes because I find so much inspiration in them, whether it's subtle updates like certain backsplashes that are trending, or colors for your cabinets, for your walls, for your flooring, or even just the decor that is in these model homes. I feel like every home has a different style of interior design, and I really appreciate the choices that are made in these homes. If you want to purchase some of these pieces for yourself, you can ask your Jagoe representative, but there's also a place on their website where you can see their model homes and you can click on the items. Those decor items like bed covers, frames, rugs will be linked for you so you can find them and purchase them for your own home. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this small tour through the Jagoe model home, and I will see you next time.